Well, imagine that it will improve, the registry will improve. Let's say we found a solution that more or less works in the current situation. What happens next? We also have the necessity to choose the balance between effectiveness, price, and the additional damage that the blocking brings to the network. What are we left with? We're left with content that can be hidden, changing addresses, identifications, and multiple other options. There could be a situation with spread content when the content is inside the networks and traffic inside them. It's difficult to block. It will have to be put until the filtration and then sent back. A situation that when there are global solutions and local solutions, is something that we can use false positive. We can buy 2,000 domains from Phil and use it for our purposes. We can also do the following, using the fact that the number of the solutions is limited, break a couple of the solutions, and have problems with the critical architecture of the networks and critical segments. Overall, we need to understand the blocking is impossible without understanding the goal. What are we blocking? Impossible to follow the traffic, survey the end user behavior. It's an old topic and linked with blocking. The monitoring of the traffic is very popular. It started in 2011 and has been actively developing up until now. First documents appeared in 2013. Currently, there are a lot of things that I would like to review first. It's many solutions that use the SNI. It's transmission in plain text with a certain negotiation of certificates and keys. At this level, we may decide and see which resource gets access to. There's also a need, by this or that method, to encrypt SNI, make its analysis impossible. Thus we'll not know which resource the user contacted. We could contact some front-end resource which then sends the traffic to the necessary host and serves as one of the chains of. So we will not know that there's some illegitimate resource behind the legitimate one. As to the DNS blocking, this is also information, sensitive information in terms of pervasive monitoring, but so we can follow not only the resources we visit, but also the information about who we communicate with. If you're sending a letter, if you're drafting a letter, the modern mail clients are trying to understand who you will send it to, and so on. So this protocol also needs to be protected. What has been done? DNS encryption, TLS, DNS, so that even indirectly it would not be impossible. It would be impossible to know which resource was contacted. Also, kernel minimization, so there's no possibility at the level of the root server or other servers. The country domain would be impossible to understand which addresses the users addressed to. Now this information is clear, could be analyzed. With recursive servers, it's still the same, but the situation is changing because there are plans to include and embed information assigned with DNSSEC into the application level protocol. We go to the DNSSEC and we are offered certain signed results. DNS is also a channel that we can use to know where the end user is going. This thing has also existed for a long time. Opportunistic IPSec, DNSSEC is a trigger here. That key exchange, and it's all encrypted at the transport level. Then we don't know what is happening at the concrete node, even if it's a connection based on plain text. Another good example, while earlier we thought that some informational pages, they work on HTTP, in plain text. With the updates of the software, both servers and browsers, there appears such thing as opportunistic security. The traffic is sent to the HTTP2 with the support of the TLS, and the traffic that was started as a plain text, it soon will become encrypted. The Firefox has been supporting this since 2015. We expect support of the servers. Chrome will start supporting this in the next couple of months. It's similar for other protocols. I'll give you an example of a mail client, mail service. Earlier, they only had opportunistic DNS security. Now we have DNSSEC triggers. Same is true about the letters, because now we know when to send the encrypted letters. There are certain filters that can be used by the organization that will check all the outcoming traffic and encrypt it, which is not visible for the user. What will be the effects of introducing all the solutions? Apart from what Ignas said, effectiveness of blocking, of a possibility of the effectiveness will go down, the precision will go down. It will be impossible to see where the good and the bad content is. The collateral damage will also go up. In Russia, when we block certain content and forget about this, as if it doesn't exist, it no longer works. So we need to not only block the content, but also work with the source so that the content will not exist in the future. What are the methods that remain? Even though the amount of metadata is going down, there remain the methods of behavioral statistical analysis. When we look at the behavior of the users en masse. So, if a person has a game dependency, they will also be interested in bypassing some blockings. There are external monitoring tools, and what is defined in RFC, what will be in the future of our industry is the cooperation, like big advertisement services, Google Analytics, also could be CDN operators and software developers that can have access to bigger amount of metadata. Conclusions. The simple mechanisms of access limitations are enough for majority of cases. There's no need to break the Pareto principle, Pareto rule. It's an unreal task to block everything. And what to do in the remaining cases, we need to do some work, and on the whole, I need to have some ad hoc solutions and some targeted measures, because the criminals will use more and more internet for their activities. That's all in a nutshell. Thank you, Anton. Are there any questions?